We're Jekyll and Hyde, which is kind of a scary restaurant pub in New York City. And right now, perfect for the Halloween edition, we've got Glenn Danzig back on the Headbangers Ball. It's been a year since we talked on camera where you got to abuse me and do all that other kind of fun stuff.
Well, that's a lot of fun.
Of course it is.
Someone's got to do it.
I'm the butt of everybody's good joke. Anyways, since last Halloween, you released Thrall, which is a live Danzig record.
Well, it's half live, half studio.
Right. And Mother 93, if you were watching Headbangers Ball 2 weeks ago, it was on Countdown to the Ball. And it's nice that a song that's, what, 4 years old? 6 years old is now entering on Countdown to the Ball.
Well,
but tell me a little bit.
Everybody's catching up finally.
Now tell me a little bit about the record.
What do you want to know?
Thrall.
Thrall,
recorded live.
We recorded a bunch of our live shows, but the stuff that we took off of, that we used for Thrall is from a show we did last year at Irvine Meadows in California. You know the place.
Mm-hmm.
About 14,000 people. And
just so people know, that's a place that lately, concerts, I mean, a lot of big bands, we're not going to mention names, but a lot of big bands have came around to Irvine Meadows and not been able to sell it out. And every time you've played there, I mean, it's the one show I know in Southern California that it's like always sells out.
Yeah, that was oversold.
And you played there Halloween last year, and just so you also know, it is the only year that Oingo Boingo didn't play their Halloween.
Yeah, they have a hold on that every year for, I guess, 10 years or so. They've played their Halloween. We got to do it last Halloween. And it worked out really well. And we had Zombie on the show.
Right.
And Kaya, and that was a great show.
And even ended up filming the video that we're about to play right now.
Well, yeah, that's filmed some stuff in Europe, too. Germany and I think London, Scotland, which is great, Glasgow, and then Irvine Meadows. And yeah, it came out really nice.
And you see like a lot of security guards on the stage and trying to like put a little method to the madness, but it didn't work. I mean, tell me some of the stuff that happened.
Security guards were on stage because the barricade broke and they had nowhere to go. We're the first band ever whose fans have broken the barricade at Irvine Meadows, and it's not a rinky-dink barricade. It's a big, heavy barricade. So thank you. And they were tearing up the seats, lighting bonfires. There were 2 bonfires up on the lawn because it was oversold. There was people up on the lawn, and there was 2 big bonfires up on the lawn, and people were dancing around them. It looked like a big pagan ritual. It was very cool.
It's kind of Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Here is the video. This is Mother 93. Headbangers Ball with Glenn Danzig. It's a special Halloween edition. And we played Mother 93, which is off Thrall, which is the live Danzig record, but it's got a couple studio songs on it.
Half live, half studio. What we did was we were going to put the 4 live songs on, and then we didn't want it to just be, 4 songs for the price of an EP, so we went in the studio just one day and very quickly just kicked out those other 3 songs.
One of them,
how you doing? And then we gave everybody 3 extra songs.
And one of the ones was It's Coming Down, which is a great song. In the video, I was one of the rare people. I don't know if it was lucky that I got to see this video. I explained it as best as I could on Headbangers Ball. It's the only video that MTV didn't play that I really wasn't even able to fully explain the video. There were a lot of, how can we say it, piercings.
Piercings, the guy takes a nail and bangs it
right through a head. Guys, imagine where you wouldn't want a nail. They show a nail being driven through, and it wasn't special effects. A guy really did it. They're into that. There's people, maybe even like you, that are into that kind of stuff, and I don't think we need to say it.
You're not into that stuff.
I don't think we need to say it, but kids, don't try that at home, okay? But it was a pretty...
Oh, is this Beavis and Butthead now?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if somebody happened to see that video, they go, you know what? I got a hammer and a nail.
I got
some free time.
A lot of people are going to be doing that. Maybe you would, Ricky.
I mean, no, that ain't my thing.
No, what did you think?
We don't want to talk about that on TV either. Now, other than that video, there was something that I went out in the stores and saw and bought out of curiosity, was pretty surprised, was there was a record that was out about 6 or 7 months ago called Glenn Danzig that was not what people would expect.
The Black Aria?
Right. Tell me about that.
Just some stuff I bouncing around, some theme songs we come out to, and then I wrote a 6-piece movement about Milton's Paradise Lost. And it's all kind of just classical.
But it's classical music, right?
It's basically classical stuff.
Very moody classical music. Now, you were telling me something that entered on the Billboard classical
I guess it
chart?
started in at number 2 or 3 and went to number 1 in Billboard's classical chart, which I guess doesn't mean that much because, you know, how many classical records sell, but it's still kind of nice.
But do you think that there were classical fans that maybe were buying it that had no idea who Glenn Danzig was?
No, well, what happened was it was starting to get played on classical stations, so, you know, and a lot of the fans bring it to the show to get signed. They really like it. I didn't expect to sell any. We didn't do any promotion for it. I figured, you know, it would just be the people who asked at the end of the shows, where can I get that music or this music? I figured we'd sell about 2,000 of them. And I put a disclaimer on the back, you know, and said, this isn't, you know, a Danzig album. It's different, and, you know, and people actually like it, you know. I'm not saying all of our fans, but the people who bought it really like it. And it's kind of nice when people come up after the show and, you know, they want you to sign it, and they tell you how much they really like it. They listen to it before they go to sleep, or when they want to relax, or sometimes when they want to get psyched to go out, or it's cool.
Yeah, you might want to check it out. Something that's definitely different. Yeah. It's called Black Aria?
Black Aria.
Black Aria. Okay, we'll be back with more Glenn Danzig as the Headbangers Ball continues. Of the Headbangers Ball here with Glenn Danzig, and a little bit earlier we were talking about the classical type music that you put out, and it seems like that would be a progression into you possibly doing some scores for soundtracks?
Eventually, yeah.
That is something you'd want to get into, right?
Yeah, I get some offers occasionally, and, you know, when something interests me, then I'll do it.
You know, something that I found out that I thought was really cool was I know you wrote something for Roy Orbison in the past, right? And now I heard that you wrote something for Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I wrote a song for his new album.
The original Man in Black.
That's right. I was just going to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
But tell me, I mean, what is it like? You got to meet Johnny Cash and stuff like that?
Yeah, I got to meet him and teach him the song, and he really liked it. So that was kind of cool because, you know, certain Johnny Cash songs, you know, I remember from a long time ago. My dad liked
before
Johnny.
He got all religious, he kind of had like an evil dark side, Johnny Cash.
I still think he's pretty bad. He's a pretty cool guy. His voice is great, and I got to teach him the song, and it, you know, it worked out really well.
That's got to be, I mean, to work with, as I would think, like, you know, I'm a big fan of a lot of the old rockabilly classics and stuff like that, and you get to work with Johnny Cash or Roy Orbison. Are there any other people that you'd really like to work with?
I don't know. I'm sure if I thought about it, you know, because I like a lot of music, so if I think about it, yeah, there's probably...
Even do Trouble, which Elvis did, which is on the...
We'll get Elvis back from the grave.
There you go.
Tonight on Halloween, and we'll do Trouble.
And he'll be doing Danzig songs. Yeah. We'll be back with more Headbangers Ball, but right now, here's a scary video. Here's Ozzy Bark at the Moon.
Ricky's date for Halloween?
That is, if I'm lucky. And that you just saw Halloween from Halloween. Get it? It's this Halloween theme that we've got, the very scary edition of the Headbangers Ball, here with Glenn Danzig. And, you know, Thraw came out, which, now, are you going to be working on any new stuff? Or when
in December, we start a new album.
And any titles or any ideas?
None yet.
Working on that?
I'd just as soon not even put a title on it. That's how I feel.
Just put it out?
Yeah.
Now, I have a question, because Beavis and Butthead are obviously big Danzig fans, and you see Beavis and Butthead going off on Danzig. Do you think, because we talked to White Zombie about this before, and it looks like that they're helping breaking a lot of bands, you know?
It could be.
Well, maybe you think it's just that it's getting the video finally played on prime time.
It's kind of funny that Beavis and Butthead will play our stuff, but MTV, it's like stuff MTV would never play before.
Well, it's getting played now.
Well, now it's
maybe now that...
that's kind of cool, though. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are complaining about Beavis and Butthead. I know kids like that, who grew up with kids like that, and I see kids like that come to our shows all the time. In some instances, I was even like that.
I was telling Glenn, I went to one of the shows in Arizona, and a guy came up to me at the show and goes, "Hey man, you know Glenn?" He goes, "Does he bring his wolves on tour with him?" So it's, you know.
Well,
what was the answer to that anyway?
Yeah, they're in the
back of the bus.
Come on back.
Now, also, you mentioned something off camera that you're going to be putting out a box set of Sam Haines.
I think we're going to do a box set. Me and Erie talked about it, and I called up the old drummers to see if they have some old photos laying around, and they're like, yeah. So I took to Steve and London, and so maybe we'll put out a Sam Haines box set.
Now, also, since the Misfits and Sam Haines were all on Plan 9, which was your record label, which was your record label.
You're treading on thin ice,
that one word, so I don't bring it up anymore. I learned that lesson in Germany. I learned that lesson in Germany, bringing up that word. Bringing up that word. Wait.
Should I burn them?
We'll ask the question, then you can throw me in the fire. Okay. The question is, Plan 9 is your label.
Yeah.
And you're going to maybe bringing in new bands on your label and starting your own?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to call it Plan 9 anymore. I might call it Evil Live and then just start a whole new thing.
So if there's new bands out there, what's the kind of stuff that you're into right now?
Anything real.
You're going to have to look hard then.
I don't want imitation Pearl Jam albums, you know. You know, we all know who that is. You're not allowed to say that, huh? Yeah.
So, what video are we going to be playing next?
Huh? Yeah, I'm allowed to say whatever I want.
Yeah, but...
say whatever I want. Yeah. Anyway, I want original bands, and bands that are doing it real loud.
Now, what do you plan on doing? What is your Halloween when you're not playing? What do you do for Halloween?
That depends what the options are. It's actually pretty funny. Kids are scared to come to my house on Halloween. I buy candy, and they won't come in the gate. They just stand outside, and then they go, So it's pretty funny.
Okay, well, we're going to be back with more Halloween edition of the Headbangers Ball. Halloween edition of the Headbangers Ball. We're here with Glenn Danzig. Now, what are some of the stuff that you do, since we're on the subject of Halloween, like in past Halloweens? As a kid, did you dress up on Halloween?
Oh, yeah, we dress up 3 or 4 times a day, sometimes more. Just, you know, sometimes just throw a sock over your head and go out and get more candy.
You remember the costume I was 2 years ago?
Isn't this
2 years ago? No, it wasn't that. 2 years ago, we had a Halloween party, and Glenn played acoustically. And I wanted to dress up as something that nobody would think it was me, and I spent the whole night as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
and I came backstage, and I'm going to Glenn, I'm like, hi, and he's like, yeah, and then I wouldn't take off my mask. I was like, hi, and everybody was like giving me a hard time. Then I took the mask off, and they still give me a hard time. I didn't really figure that out.
Yeah.
But you're not playing this Halloween, so...
No, well, you know what we normally do. We either did, like, you know, those blues sets at your place, or like last year we did Irvine. This year we're just hanging out. We've been on the road too long. We just wanted to relax, you know, and kick back.
Now, the one thing about your shows is you've got a real strong fan base. I mean, you see, on this show we've traveled everywhere almost in the world, and we always see Danzig t-shirts everywhere. And as evident when we played in Germany last year, there were tons of people there. I mean, are you going to be going out on the road at any time, or are you going to wait till you do a new record now? Or?
Yeah, we're going to wait till the summer, because, like I said, we're fried. We've been on the road pretty much for like a year and a half.
Yeah, tell me the places that you just got back from.
We just come back from the Pacific. We did New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Hawaii, and before that we went and did all of America and Canada again. I mean, you know, and then we even went to Europe for 2 weeks or whatever. Again, it's like...
Are the Danzig fans in, let's say, New Zealand or Japan much different than the Danzig fans? Like, in America and Germany, it seemed like they were pretty much the same kind, you know, maybe just a little...
They were pretty crazy in New Zealand, I have to say that, and Tokyo was... You know, I was expecting the kids to just be sitting there and, you know, at the end of the song clapping, and Tokyo was wild.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty violent too, and so was New Zealand was great. New Zealand was, yeah.
Very cool. Well, right now we're going to be playing a video from Glenn. Why don't you tell us the video we're playing?
What are we playing? It's Coming Down.
No, we're not.
This is a video where they stitch up a guy's mouth, and then this guy...
we couldn't play that one. I can't understand why. Instead,
and they bang it in.
We're going to play... If somebody wants to see that video, how can they see it? Put it this way.
Call Deaf American and bug them.
Put it this way. The video for It's Coming Down, it makes the Jim Rose sideshow look like Disney.
Did you see the amputee people walk on a leash?
Some of
they
those
have these
things
chrome things on their elbows and knees, and
they're
walking like dogs.
We can't even talk about it. Here's Her Black Wings.